Sylvanas' mastery of the woods and guerrilla tactics allowed her to make quick work of her enemies. Through this manner, Sylvanas was able to inflict large losses upon the Scourge when Arthas invaded Quel'Thas in the Third War. This is a large reason as to why Arthas hated her so much and turned her into a Banshee as a spy. The Roman god Sylvanus was the god of forests and boundaries. His name from Latin literally translates as of the woods. In addition to the forest imagery, the boundary aspect of the god Sylvanus is also quite symbolic because Sylvanus quite literally helped defend the boundaries of Quel'Thalas. The magical runestones at the borders of Quel'Thalas also suggested another connection here, since Sylvanas the god was also the god of field stones and markers. This was also proven again when Sylvanas broke the boundary between Azeroth and the Shadowlands. Regardless of Sylvanas' recent character development and recent expansions, the notion of quite literally not being able to see the forest or the trees does fit quite nicely with the several themes of Sylvanas' character. Our final word from this video is Tauren. A lot of fantasy words in WoW come from Latin, and using Latin to build words is somewhat of a cliché in fantasy. The name Tauren is no exception to this fantasy Latin language rule, as Taurus is Latin for bull. Despite such a simple etymology for a name, the Tauren have an extremely rich and unique lore and culture within the game. Physically, the Tauren themselves are based on the Minotaur of ancient Greek mythology, but have a culture more similar to that of the various tribes of Native Americans. One of WoW's many strengths is that it has the ability to incorporate many different source materials, yet weave them into a very familiar fantasy story. Some people also like to point out that Tauren is an anagram of nature, meaning you can rearrange letters and get both words. Whether or not this was intended since early WoW's development remains unknown, but Tauren do seem to have a deeper connection to shamanism and druidism than many of the other races on Azeroth. During the first few weeks of Cataclysm, when they added the new fishing dailies for the brand new Orgrimmar, there was a small little bug associated to one of the items.
Come on, man, give me another fucking thing.
Oh,
damn it.
But not for the reasons you might think.
Oh my
was
god.
called a golden opportunity.
It's fine.
Which is still in the game to this day. Although, of course,
what happens?
Basically, all you do for the quest is take a fillet knife and use it on one of the drowned lizards in the newly flooded Durotar in order to collect a drowned thunder lizard tail, which you would then use in order to collect some fish. As the drowned thunder lizard tail, on a 10-second cooldown, would let out a little electrical blast.
Fuck, where did my pumpkin go? Must be in the other base.
Was necessary for complete. Once you turned it,
I'm not even going to show up on the meter. I don't want to. I don't want them to think that I'm here.
Because the quest item you received was the fillet.
That's fine.
And the thunder lizard tail was something you got during the quest, making it not a gifted quest item. So you basically got to keep the item, and it could be used anywhere in the world, not just the quest location. A simple little item which just put out a little thunder effect, but didn't actually do any damage. So where is the harm in that? Well, it wasn't on the global cooldown. So you could technically just macro the item into one of your abilities in order to have a cool little thunder effect on your character every 10 seconds. However, there was a little bit of an exploit with this item, in addition to the bug where it didn't delete its inventory every turn of the class. The item's exploit was that you could use the effect of the tail multiple times before it actually triggered its 10-second cooldown. And since it was off the global cooldown, what you could do was just macro the ability to use the item countless times before it triggered its 10-second cooldown. And every activation of the item would trigger the Thunder special effect. So, if you took this item into the middle of the bar and then used it hundreds of times a second, it would completely crash everyone's frames per second. And sometimes would even cause people's clients to crash as well. And since this item could be used anywhere in the world, some people actually took this into battlegrounds in order to lag out and disconnect the enemy team for easy wins. Because the player using it could purposefully set their in-game settings to the lowest possible ahead of time in order to avoid the effect, while the enemy players running their game with the highest settings they could would not be prepared for the CPU load that was about to hit them. And since this happened in 2010, the average computer at the time was not very good, so it was probably pretty easy to crash most people's clients with the item. After a couple of weeks, Blizzard eventually fixed the item to no longer trigger multiple times throughout a single macro, and also no longer be usable outside of Durotar. And for good reasons too, as it's kind of the best crowd control item they've ever put in the game, and hence one of the strongest items they've ever added, as you can completely win any PvP encounter by
only lost 5 minutes, good.
Computer, or at the very least dropping their frames per second to 1 so they couldn't do anything. And now for some lost information about Vanilla WoW that weren't really major problems during Classic WoW. During Vanilla WoW, there was a very common bug involving the rogue skill called Vanish. Vanish is an ability that allows a rogue to stealth in combat, while giving them a little buff that makes it so they can't be de-stealthed due to certain abilities happening within a short window of usually less than 3 seconds. This would give the rogue some leeway to actually stay invisible if some kind of spell was to travel when they actually vanished. That way it wouldn't break immediately once it finally landed. But there was a bug, where sometimes vanish would break randomly before the little 3-second window was over, and people for the longest time weren't sure why. But then, in preparation for Classic WoW, one of the original Vanilla WoW developers was asked about this bug, and basically what it was every single ability in the game needed to have an extra switch turned on that basically just said, don't break vanish. And since this had to be manually turned on for every single ability in the game, some of the abilities just didn't have it because they forgot, or missed it. Or sometimes the flag would get turned off because of certain interactions between spell types, and it was as simple as that. Some abilities just wouldn't be flagged for not breaking vanish, and some interactions would make it so that the flag never turned on. Even in 2019 Classic WoW, vanish was bugged for a while, where it just would not turn on against certain bosses or occasionally in PvP, and they basically had to fix this bug for a second time. Or I guess the fix is kind of putting it lightly. Vanish still bugs out sometimes even in current WoW, but not as frequently as it used to. The ability to just instantly drop combat and then stay in a state, which is supposed to break on any form of damage, is just kind of right for all kinds of problems. Located in the Tanan jungle of Draenor is an NPC named Fel Rangari Anara. If you kill this NPC, she'll drop an item called the Vial of Fel Cleansing, which is necessary in order to tame one of the Fel Wolves in the area. And you only get one vial per kill, which allows you to tame one pet basically each time you use it. Now, what was interesting about this NPC back in the world of Draenor was that she was only attackable by hunters, that she would despawn if anyone else tried to pull her. And she was actually a pretty difficult encounter that required you to use all of your hunter abilities. Periodically throughout the fight, she would put your pet to sleep, and you'd have to use Master's Call in order to wake it up. She would put a super buff on herself that you would need to tranquilize and shine in order to dispel. And she would occasionally go invisible, where you had to use your flare in order to reveal her. Plus, she had a heal that she would cast at low health, which would put her all the way back to full health, which you simply had to interrupt, while dodging all of her AoE abilities that she was constantly putting out. It was an actual challenging encounter for hunters, very reminiscent of the Hunter quest chain in Vanilla WoW for Rock Del Ar, which also comprised of very difficult solo challenges for hunters in order to obtain a powerful weapon. And it was also similar to a lot of the other challenge tames that was added in various other expansions, like the Spirit Beast tames of Cataclysm, or Rare Pets for the Magma Tortoise, or all the Lava Beasts in the Molten Front, or even the Mechano Spiders and Dogs from Alcatraz. And of course, if you go to this NPC today on a max level character, you can just kind of one-shot her pretty easily, so you don't really need to know her tactics anymore. Located in the Dalaran sewers of both versions of Dalaran is a sewer shark named Sega CD.
Yep.
This NPC is an obvious reference to the game station known as the Sega CD.
Sega CD.
Because there was a game for that system called Sewer Shark. Sewer Shark was one of the more popular games in that system, and was one of the first ones to be released with it. And it was such a hit that they eventually ended up building the Sewer Shark game along with future Sega CD releases. So it makes sense why an NPC located in the sewers would be named Sega CD, since the game was so synonymous with the system. The game itself doesn't really have much to do with sharks. It is actually a railgun shooter game, so that's about where the references end. Not many know this NPC is just a reference or an Easter egg. However, it is actually used in the Purge of Dalaran, where a high elf mage is holding one of the Sun Reaver citizens above the Sega CD shop, and then drops a citizen to the sharks when you engage the elf to try to stop him, which indicates that this shark is definitely a canon part of Dalaran, and actually is involved in the story of the world, which is pretty rare for a lot of these reference NPCs. And now for some information about the earliest versions of the game. In Vanilla WoW, they had a couple of class weapon quests, more famously the ones for priests and hunters that had them go out in the world and complete very difficult solo challenges in order to reward with a pretty decent weapon, tailored specifically for their class. It was such a popular feature that they basically used this mechanic for all of the artifact weapons in the Legion expansion, and it was definitely a very loved part of the expansion. Although players always found it funny that they kind of stopped doing it after only a couple of classes. And in an interview with a WoW dev who worked on the game near Vanilla WoW, in preparation for Classic WoW, they were asked about the class quests, and why there weren't more of them. And basically, what it boiled down to was they just took too much time to create. And after they did the first couple, they kind of stopped so they could start working on the Burning Crusade, and be able to ship it in a timely manner. Although they did have plans to do more of them, they specifically cut the rest of them so they could work on the Burning Crusade. And not because they thought they were an unpopular feature or anything. They just simply took too much time to make for how few people actually got to do them. Like how all classes were going to have race-specific abilities like Priest did, that was also cut for similar reasons. So they just weren't a huge priority, and were one of the first of many things that were cut in order to allocate resources to something more important. Tel Abyss is an island which has basically been on the world map since the very beginning. However, most of its life in Warcraft has been as an unknown, labeled island on the world map, and we've never actually been to the place, with there only being a few references to it in-game. The first reference is the Tel Abyss banana, which is a very common item sold by vendors, which is just a low-level food item that basically exists as a way to feed fruit to your pet, back when that used to mean something for hunters. Now it's just kind of a useless food item that you can buy if you want a low-level food. And there's also a series of 3 damp diary pages that you can fish up in the open world if you're fishing in Azeroth. They depict the days 4, 87, and 512 of a person who was stranded on an island full of bananas. Diary, day 4. I have been stranded on this island now for 4 days. Bananas are pretty tasty, but what a long climb to reach them. When I'm not getting food or protecting myself from the periodic rain, all my thoughts are on rescue. I would not be so hopeful if it were not for the boxes of paper and bottles that washed up ashore with me. I laugh now to think of all the time I spent on that ship, cursing that I was stuck on a boatload of alchemists and surroundings. The next entry is available for day 87, where it clearly depicts the writer of the diary as going mad, as he starts talking about how the bananas are after him, and how one screamed as he started eating it. Then on day 512, he talks about how the bananas have started talking to him, and he has to stop eating them, and that the banana civilization is actually quite a great one, and he feels sorry for the early days. And then he goes on to note that he's finally running out of paper, so his diary will probably be sent. Now, we never actually figure out who the sender of these messages are, or even where they got that from, but one can assume, based on his constant talking of bananas, and the very common Tel Abyss banana in-game, he was probably stranded on the island of Tel Abyss, which, in the upcoming Tel Abyss Lord of the Banana King expansion, we might find a guy who's crazy and just washed up there. Although, joke aside, if we ever get the island, it will likely be as an island, with maybe an island and banana trees that give you a being watch dealer, with a skeleton surrounded by bananas, that could signify the author of the damn diary pages. Did you know the undead were originally supposed to look more human-like? In an interview with the Vanilla WoW developer, they talk about how the undead were originally planned to basically decay over time. They were supposed to start off looking human, and then slowly as they progressed through the starting zone, they would lose their flesh, culminating at the end of the starting zone where the Forsaken would look like the one we have today. But the reason they abandoned this feature was because they just
I got very lucky I didn't aggro. Very lucky.
The undead areas were the last ones to be added.
I don't care, frankly, though.
So they definitely did not have time to flesh out the zone where they were really like their ambitious pre-planted stages. Although it would have been a neat feature to have lore-wise, to see the undead slowly decay as you come to terms with your character's new existence. And they kind of pulled this off with the Worgen starting zone, where you start off as a human and then slowly turn into a Worgen. Although the Worgen have the ability to swap between their human form anyway, and they already have human models in the game, so that one was a no-brainer to add to their starting zone. And also, did you know, if you leave the Worgen starting zone before you get bit by a Worgen, you just automatically learn how to turn into a Worgen once you enter combat for the first time. It used to be you could stay in human form forever if you managed to escape, but they fixed that after a couple of expansions. Located in the Death Knight starting zone are a series of skeleton NPCs known as the Sky Darkeners, whose only job is to rain arrows upon the nearby town the Death Knight are attacking. One of the skeletons will offer you a quest called Tonight We Dine in Havenshire, which has you go around the town in order to collect some of the Serenite arrows that they've been
I can't familiar for another 20 minutes, son of a bitch. Oh, well, that's okay.
Now, this quest, as well as the NPCs, are all obvious references to the movie 300, as one of the lines in the movie is, Spartans, ready your breakfast and eat hearty, for tonight we dine in hell. And also, there's a scene in the movie where the Persian army threatens the Spartans
heal on my bar and I don't
so
have
many
it.
soldiers on their side that their arrows will blot out the sun, to which they reply that they'll just fight in the shade then, hence the name of the Sky Darkeners of the Bowman skeleton, which is just further reinforced by the name of the quest that they provide. In Alpha WoW, before they had talent trees which went live in the classic version of the game, all players had this talent point interface, which would allow you to spend your talent points in order to increase the power level of your character. Like if you wanted to increase the damage with two-handed axes specifically, you could spend 10 talent points to increase it by 1. If you wanted some fire resistance, you could spend 10 talent points to increase it by 4, increasing it as you bought more of the ranks. This system is also where you would get your professions, so you'd have to choose to give up player power in order to be able to craft items and consumables. Eventually, this system was scrapped, and then players were given the talent trees in beta.
Oh shit, it's X-Death.
Although this little window of purchasing specific skills wasn't entirely abandoned either, as the Hunter class had a very similar window in order to...
Your skill has increased.
Whereas when your pet would level up, they would gain loyalty points, which you would then use to purchase their basic attacks, cooldowns, and all their extra stats, like granting extra armor, health, and very specific resistances. So you could choose to give your pet a lot of fire resistance and have no frost resistance at all, for example. And the original pet training panel was incredibly unintuitive and would show you skills that you couldn't actually train your active pet, and didn't have a way to sort the abilities at all. So just kind of a mess that was abandoned in Wrath of the Lich King. So they did kind of keep the old talent point system. It was just stripped of its previous functionalities and only applied to Hunter
The
pets.
asteroid is depleted.
Located in Area 52, during the second to last quest of the quest chain provided by Dr. Vomisa, PhD, is a quest known as You Robot, which has you test drive a robot against another one named Negatron. Now, during the quest chain, you've basically been helping this guy test drive his robots and gathering parts for him. So, during this final test drive of the robot, you're supposed to fight against a Fell Reaver who is an obvious reference to Megatron, the big bad evil guy of the Transformers series, which is a cartoon and movie franchise about robots that can transform into different things. During the Burning Crusade, this was a pretty difficult quest to solo, and was supposed to be helped along by the robot that was provided by you, which could be accidentally dismissed if you summoned another temporary pet as part of your class. Now, the enemy bad guy Negatron also has some dialogues which are very reminiscent of his Saturday morning cartoon villain status that it's based on, where he'll say things like, "Ha ha ha, your feeble rocket is destroyed. I'll return later to finish off the rest of your puny town," but he says this in all caps, of course. And the quest it's associated to is itself a reference to the short story and full-length movie, I, Robot, which doesn't really have anything to do with this quest or Transformers, other than the fact that they both have robots in them. In the game files, and even some of the promotional materials for early vanilla WoW, there's a place known as the Dragon Isles, which was eventually cut from the game for a whole bunch of reasons. One of the biggest reasons that we found out, thanks to the WoW Diary book, is that the Dragon Isles didn't really make sense from a lore standpoint. In Warcraft lore, all of the dragons are good except for the black dragons. So they couldn't easily make a zone for adventurers to go into to kill stuff because there's so few variations of bad dragons. And there were already
The WoW Hardcore server's going up in like 7 minutes here. I'll be playing that when it opens up. I didn't know there was gonna be server maintenance at 4:30 in the fucking afternoon. You know?
That way they could have more variation to their enemies, but he always
On a Saturday, that's pretty much I think the worst possible time all week.
So every time you fight a dragon in game that's not a black dragon, there's always some special reason they're an enemy, usually due to madness or mind control or something, and rarely because of something they did of their own volition. However, another reason the Dragon Isles was cut was because they were having a hard time just designing the place. And a lot of the neat, fancy ideas they had just didn't flow very well with character models they were actually trying to put into text. And lastly, they found that they didn't actually need very many zones or dungeons. You see, what happened was they had planned for the Dragon Isles as well as the zones of Griffin Toll, Tol Barad, and Karazhan to be in Vanilla WoW. And one of the things Vanilla WoW did that no other game did at the time was trying to navigate players through the zone by giving them breadcrumb quests that they could send them places. And during the Friends and Family Alpha, players really loved the quest and wanted more of them. So they added extra quests that have players do more things inside the zones, rather than just send them to far reaches of the zone to explore and grind mindlessly. And as quoted by the WoW Diary book, the only way to keep players in an appropriate zone was by adding far more quests than originally planned. By creating so many quests, WoW had accidentally created compelling solo content, which arguably became the game's strongest ingredient for success with the broad market of casual players. Providing that much enjoyable solo content was never planned, budgeted, or even prioritized. It was stumbled upon. By trying to solve a navigation problem, we inadvertently engaged a larger audience, namely the solo players. So because of the game design of creating more quests to do in a zone, they didn't actually need to create as many zones as they thought they would. So they cut a couple of their planned zones so they could save them for later. The Dragon Isles being the only one from that list that is still yet to make it to the game. And just for some context on how many quests vanilla WoW had compared to its competitors, a single zone in World of Warcraft had more quests than the entire game of EverQuest. WoW has had many battlegrounds over the years. However, did you know there are 3 unused battlegrounds almost fully completed in the files? First off, we have Azhar's Crater. A battleground I'm sure some of you know of, was originally planned for vanilla WoW, and it was even given a location in Azhara, a large crater made into the map, with roads even put for Alliance and Horde to get there. But there was nothing ever done with this place. Also, sadly, as this map was removed, so we can't view it anymore, and its final complete state is not even visible in the map files, so we'll be using some footage from Haven Games for this section. The first real version of this map appears in 0.9 beta for WoW Vanilla, and appears to have some massive crater set in Azhara, with a Night Elf village and Orc town set within. On top of that, a couple of ruins, and that's about it. It was super basic, but quite large. Then comes 0.10, the map is completely changed, this version being 3 craters connected by gates between the cliff sides, with assumed a Horde camp in the bottom left, and Alliance camp in the north. This version is much more completed, although even then, the next update to the zone would come in patch 1.0. The Alliance camp would be massively reverted, becoming far more basic, oddly enough, which would be followed up by the final version, a complete version that's map file has been all too hard to acquire, giving a full scale to the area, but has yet to be used. This zone is so complete, people have even been able to make a fan-made map of the area. The battleground is assumed to have worked in the same vein as Alteric Valley, with resources and capture points pushed into your enemy's land and securing structures, although with only 1 faction camp each. It seems this may have been a bigger focus on capturing neutral objectives and gathering resources to use to defeat your enemy, instead of them simply being buffs that you need to take out so you can defeat their enemy boss. This battleground is fully set up aesthetic-wise, so all the groundwork is done for Blizzard to finally give us this BG, although I guess the visuals
Orcish
are a
axe.
bit outdated now. Next we have Defend.
Oh, it sucks, but it'll sell. Oh wait, Strength 2.
So this BG was
Wait,
added to
Strength
patch
2 is
5.7,
actually really good.
meaning at the end of the
Int Mine and Charisma.
and just sapped
But
untouched
Strength
sense.
2 is
This
super
map has a
fucking
Horde
good
and
though.
Alliance side, and the Horde a more augmented
Yeah,
appearance,
that
and the
that
Alliance a
yeah,
more
that's
strength.
actually really
This map
good.
very much has a MOBA-like appearance, and may have been planned to be exactly that, as the name Defense of the Alehouse is a reference to the original MOBA Defense of the Ancients, and shares a lot of similarities. First off, with multiple lanes where NPCs would pound down to fight each other, with players supporting them, while there is multiple side objectives, a Jade Tiger Shrine and Sha Infested Outcrop on the east, and a ruined tree husk and Mogu encampment to the west.
Why won't
This
you
BG
attack? I
really
don't
does look well made,
understand.
and with its somewhat up-to-date appearance, could be added if Blizzard figures out how to make a MOBA work in WoW. And our last of the 3 is simply called Warcraft Heroes. Added to the game files with the launch of Warlords of Draenor, this map very much also gives off the appearance of a MOBA. Seems at the end of MOB, Blizzard really wanted to try making a WoW MOBA battleground, as with how close these are together, I assume both were in the works at the same time. Especially as these 2 BGs came out around the same time as Heroes of the Storm, which was a MOBA game that Blizzard had developed themselves. Maybe some practice for them, maybe a planned crossover, we may never know. But enough about all that. This zone has a very obvious Horde half and Alliance half. The zone is overall rather basic, with overall rather little work done, especially with the pathing and seemingly NPCs placed and planned, replaced by placeholder ogres, and with this there seems to be camps of mobs near the edge, much like you would see in the MOBA's jungle, even including a boss ogre. So there is many things we can gather from this, and this very well could have simply been an extremely early concept of Ashran, as it does fit into the same style, but most likely this was another attempt at making a WoW MOBA battleground, simply through the fact of multiple lanes, and even there being jungle enemies, even harking back somewhat to Warcraft.
Your skill has
All
increased.
These maps are really fun, and it's a shame that at least for Azhar's Crater and Defense of the Alehouse, they are pretty much entirely complete, but simply missing the mechanics required to play them.
Your
It would
skill
be
has
nice to see them
increased.
finally released in the game, although I'm sure Azhar's Crater would have to come in some time-locking event or Classic Plus. But let's hope these broken BGs get their time to shine. Maybe even in some kind of Warfront return, as the best way to make a WoW MOBA in the BG may be to amalgamize the Warfront system. Located in Fenris Keep in the Silverpine Forest is a rare undead gnoll mob named Snarlmane.
Your
The
skill
only
has
thing notable
increased.
about this NPC during its appearance in the pre-Cataclysm world is that it had a chance to drop an axe called the Flesh Carver. During Cataclysm, the NPC was removed from the game, so you can only see it if you go play on the classic WoW servers. Now, this NPC is actually from Warcraft 3, and was the Null General that Sylvanas mind-controlled during her fight with Varimathras. When Sylvanas was fighting the Dreadlords in order to take control of the Undercity for the first time, she made very liberal use of mind control on leaders of various monsters in the area. That way, she could make use of their armies in order to fill her ranks more quickly.
150
and
off him.
Snarlmane was one of those monsters
That's
you took
good.
control of. Where
That's a
for
good
the
chunk.
low price of
Nice,
only
not
mind
bad.
controlling a single leader, she
Uh-oh.
gained a whole platoon of Null warriors. Now, one could assume
Thanks.
that he died fighting for Sylvanas, and then was raised as an undead and just ran off and joined the Rothhide Knolls in Silverpine. But we don't actually know how he ended up in this location or why he's classified as undead. But that's a pretty fair speculation based on the lore in that time period. So, even from the beginning, Sylvanas was not shy about using mind control to get what she wanted, just as long as that control is not directed at her specifically. Located throughout the Maw are a whole bunch of items you can find called Maw lore items. When you find one of these items, it simply gives you a quest to turn into Venari, and that's about it. Venari will sometimes note about the things you give to her, but for the most part there's not much more to these items, despite the fact that they do call themselves lore items. However, in the beta for Shadowlands, a lot of these items did have some lore associated to them, something which is even referenced by Venari with the Tormentor's Note. When you turn this particular item into Venari, she'll remark, "Quite the vivid description. I suggest you consider this a reminder of what will happen should you fail in your efforts against the jailer." However, after you accept and turn the quest in, you don't actually get any description, and Venari is saying her lines as if you had read something. And in the beta, there was quite a vivid description attached to this, which was removed when the game went live. The description I'll be showing on screen, full of a lot of technical information, so I won't be reading it verbatim. However, what it does describe is the torture process of a Kaldorite female who wound up in the Maw, with their test number 1 mentioning that the target was highly resistant to physical pain. With test number 2, they tried to use sound in their experiments by exposing her to constant gnomish tavern jigs, and the notes that it was too painful for the guards administering the test, so they gave up on it. Test number 3 was titled Force Visualizations, where it states that the test subject was forced to relive a specific moment in their life, and that this particular subject broke on their 115th viewing of the burning of Teldrassil. And then it ends off saying that they were able to extract 10 times the amount of anima through this process. Now, this particular piece of Maw lore is pretty dark, and there were other similar descriptions in some of the other Maw lore items, although all of them were scrapped from the game at launch. And the launch of Shadowlands had quite a bit of problems, as it was delayed a full month after the promised release date, and the Maw wasn't even close to being finished when they got to that initial release date.
Ooh,
So
air
a lot of what
elementals.
ended up being in the Maw at launch was done during that last
Probably a bad
month grace
idea without
period
silence, though.
themselves. And it's
Well, I
pretty
can't do air
obvious anyone
elementals
who
till
played the game
40.
at launch of the Maw was obviously not finished, and it was a pretty barren wasteland and only subject to doing a couple of daily quests. So Blizzard could have removed these Maw lore pieces because they wanted to do something with them, but then scrapped whatever ideas they had and probably didn't have the other ones finished. Or it could have been scrapped because the pieces of information we did get in the beta were pretty dark, honestly. But it fits in with the lore of the zone of being a terrible place that you don't want to go to. Algol the Observer is most likely named after Algol, the demon star, which was named such because it had an inconsistent brightness, and people considered it an ill omen when they were able to see it. Modern astronomers were able to figure out why it had an inconsistent brightness, and it was basically because it was actually orbiting around another star, which would sometimes have it covered up and be less bright to the naked eye, which happened roughly once every 2 days. Algol is also an anagram for an early computer language, which could be why Algalon talks like he's a computer trying to reprogram something. So, when you add these 2 references together, you get the creature known as Algalon the Observer, a celestial made of stars that is also reminiscent of a robot with the way he speaks. Located in Revendreth at this spot on the map, just inside a building will be a couple of Revendreth citizens surrounding a cooking pot. And if you click on the cooking pot and have 30 infused rubies on you, a dredge will pop out, and you'll be awarded a toy item called the Muckpool Cookpot. This toy item has a 5-minute cooldown and simply allows you to create a cooking fire, which functions exactly like a normal cooking fire you can create for free, except it has a different cosmetic appearance. Infused rubies can be obtained by just killing creatures in Revendreth, or through daily events if you're part of the Vector Covenant. And obtaining 30 rubies could take a while, but really should not be that difficult to obtain if all you're trying to do is get 30 of them for this one item. And now, for some information about the earliest versions of the game. Did you know there were plans to have another event similar to the opening?
He reminds me of the quadriplegic storyteller in Buster Scruggs. He just goes on passionately about this thing that he cares about a lot and finds really interesting, and it's kind of funny, and he just drones on kind of, but like I like that guy more because he was like into like classical literature like me. I really like that portrayal, and like I think he does it better than this kid. Although this kid's really good, he's actually really good. It's funny. Kind of jealous of him in a way, because he's like got all that info in his head that he obviously cares about. I feel that way about 20 games, but not one. You know, I have a lot of games in my memory bank, but I don't know about all that lore.
Your skill has
I
increased.
don't care about that. Okay, so...
Your skill has increased.
Yeah, that's everything I need, right? Oh, no, I came here to get high quality.
Your skill has increased.
Extended, yeah, like a flashlight and a simple. Yeah. Wait. Don't make it, I have one. There we go.
Your skill has increased.
Okay. Oh, I didn't write out the whole macro.
Your skill has increased.
And I ate the damn bomb, and it was like 25 damage. I could have stopped it. I'm learning that Smash Axe is actually super good. I didn't think about it. Well, I think I pulled. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, no. Get on him. No. Get on him. Please get on him. Don't fuck me way out here
Your
like this.
skill has increased.
Okay, kill him. Never mind. One hit killed him. Nice. I'm in it. And I'm safe. Go somewhere where I won't aggro. Dark Crystal. Anybody? Oh, cool. I did get loot off him, though. Dark Crystals are good. Yeah, I'm happy. I love this game. I'm so glad I get to play. Oh, I didn't do the chest as I left. I should have done the chest as I left. No. Oh, well. Ooh, nice. I have like a nice pump shotgun now. Makes me so happy. I don't know. I could suppress the shotgun, but then I wouldn't have a flashlight. Or no, yeah. I guess I don't really need it. I suppose... Yeah, I would prefer to have a suppressor. I don't know. Yeah, like I don't really wish to be traced. And I don't want to lose the guns, so I don't know. I don't frankly care. I don't care. Anyways, it's finally time to log off Rust. I was just getting ready. 9 days, yeah, we're good. So quit this. And now we go back to WoW, now that it's patched or whatever. Okay, classic hardcore, here we go. I'm gonna kill the music on Final Fantasy XI, and I'm gonna go pee. And I will pause the video while I do that. I'll BRB. Oh, so, sorry guys, I forgot to turn on the recording like 45 minutes ago, so it'll be a slower day today. I shouldn't pause it at all. I'll just stop. I'll just go to the bathroom. I don't care. I'm gonna stop pausing it. It costs me too much. I'm playing late tonight, though. Gonna play really late tonight.
And he waited.
60 copper.
Did he just do that? Okay, there's the grief, guys. There's the grief. And they're petrying. Holy shit. Oh, this one actually got out. The paladin actually got out. He just fucking griefed us. Wait, is he the only one that lived?
It looks a lot better than it used to.
24? Oh my god. Why not on KT? Because you could petry out of KT. And KT doesn't have the one-shot mechanics. That's why. Yeah, you could maybe ice tomb 2 groups of people, but that's it.
It had to be 4 horsemen. He had to be a
Oh my
warrior,
God.
and he had to tank Zelia. The Cosmos aligned. It was not the Cosmos. He played a warrior. He played a tank. He probably volunteered to tank Zelia. Bro, he lined him up himself. I don't think it's that deep, dude. So you think that it's all a coincidence that he played the warrior, that he was playing tank, that he happened to tank the mob that would kill the entire raid, and he did it on the one boss they couldn't petrification flask out. All of these things were just all a huge coincidence? I don't think so. I think that we're dealing with a villain.
Why not on KT, brother?
That's why. He couldn't have won. He couldn't have wiped the raid. Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to wipe the raid on KT.
Imagine dying.
Because so many other bosses are taunt immune. So it would be impossible for him to do. Tiny Violin had 20 accounts on Earth Fury just to dispel people in Classic WoW. How much money is that? It's like $300 a month.
13th? Who did it? Teeny. How'd I get out? I heard.
What brings you here?
I saw it happening early and started hyping. Mod, mainly toxic people. Just preemptively. It's around 30 deaths so far, guys. It's still happening. People are still dying.
Oh well. It was fun.
Oh well.
I mean, that's bullshit, right?
It was fun.
Like,
I mean,
it was actually interesting that it took so long for stuff like this to happen.
yeah,
It
I mean,
is.
it was calm now.
But that's the thing, it was like grief. It was a grief.
We made it so far. Holy shit, that was impressive.
And there's no other boss that he could have done it on, because if he had done it, I'm thinking in my mind, like where could he have done it earlier? Because like on Cthulhu, it wouldn't have mattered, because
Where could he have done it earlier?
You can't taunt Nefarian. What could he do on Nefarian? Thaddeus, it would just kill him, and then it would damage the rest of the raid, and with world buffs and everybody's passive resist because it was elemental damage, it would not have killed them. Vale, if he had, I'm thinking about all the fights. Vale, if he had burning adrenaline, that would be like a massive possibility, right? Because he would maybe tank the boss and then run it on top of people. Even that, people could move away from him, and they would be able to know that. The ZG Snake boss with the same mechanic as Celiac, but that's only 20 people. Instructor Resuvius, what can you do on Instructor Resuvius? Taunt and then die? I understand you guys want me to interview him. I kind of don't want to because of how absolutely degenerate this is, but you do have to admit that this is so disgusting, so perverse, so wrong.
Your skill has increased.
That it is slightly impressive. This is, I will be honest, this is impressive. I'll give it a day or so, and if people really want an interview, I will consider it, okay? Oh my god. This guy is an actual demon. Yes, this is... Is there any other ability that goes through Flask of Petrification? Is there any other ability? Saffron? He keeps saying it was an so he says it was an accident. Just a little oopsie. Oh my god. It's not impressive at all. He's a trash human being. Not anything more. So you don't think that it's impressive. So these are the things that you needed to do in order to come to this outcome. Okay? 260. Trust of the guild. Not die during AO. No, all fights in vanilla WoW.
Your skill has increased.
This is insane. I mean, like, I'm still going.
The asteroid is depleted.
Yes.
The asteroid is depleted. Your skill has increased. Is depleted.
This is the big one right here.
The asteroid
Keep in mind.
is depleted.
Hard to trust and Zeoik for the entire fight.
Your skill has increased.
Zeoik is tauntable, so you don't need to be the one assigned to it. Ooh, you're right. That's actually a good point.
Your skill has increased.
So let's get this straight. You had to level a character
Oh, he's
to
tough,
60
huh?
in hardcore
Let's
WoW.
Let's feed him
You had
some
to
mobs.
gain the trust of a guild.
But I don't know where they are. Is the problem. Water would be good. It would be
Play
money.
with them off stream and
I don't think
out
there's
of
enough
raid.
mobs here,
Become
though.
one of the main tanks of the guild.
Well, maybe actually.
You don't
Let's
die at all during any part of this. Farm world buffs on a weekly basis. Farm consumables on a weekly basis. Know all of the fights in vanilla WoW.
If I die, I
backwards
die.
and forwards to the extent that you understand
Oh God, he
every
did kill
single
it fast.
intricate mechanic, so you know just the specific boss fight. The one fight
Your
that
skill
they
has
can't
increased.
stop you. Then you progress through all of Molten Core without dying. You progress through all of BWL without dying. You progress through all of AQ40 without dying. And then you study exactly not only the boss fights and the mechanics, but also the specific mechanics that allow you to bypass the flask of petrification. And there are only a handful of them. Then you clear the majority of Nax 40, which by the way is a hard raid in hardcore where you can't die, without without dying yourself. Then you earn the trust to tank the boss that could potentially be the one that could ruin the raid. And that's how much trust they have in you. And you do all of this in over the entire year. It is over an entire year. And then afterwards, you say that he said he was set up.
Oh, he
and
cast poison
trained,
on me.
he was grieved,
That
and
son
so
of
you
a
find out the
bitch.
culprit
Son of a
and get them
bitch.
investigated and bailed.
Dirty son of a
This
bitch.
is
Get
fucked
on
up.
him.
How did we wipe and
The
I'm to
hell, he keeps
blame?
poisoning
This is
me.
fucked. We have a rat in the raid. And then you blame somebody else.
Why are people like this? Hit the water
Oh,
elemental.
fuck
Get him
Jacob,
off
you
me.
Dreadlord, it's this guy. This is the real Dreadlord.
This guy's gonna
right
kill me.
here. Also, keep in mind
The
that
asteroid
at
is
any other
depleted.
point in the fight,
The
There,
asteroid
get on
is
him.
depleted.
Yes, get on him.
it had to have been at the beginning of the fight because that would be the only time that Thane was alive. And Thane being alive is the necessary thing in order for people to have to stack up for Meteor. This is Balnazar's brother? Yes. Oh my god.
That was fun.
Here's all the characters. I doubt most of us will.
He killed the guild.
It is a Greek though.
He destroyed the entire guild. He wins. It is what it is.
Oh no. Am I gonna make it? I don't know. If he starts casting, I won't. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. Let me out. Nope, didn't let me. Oh my god. 5 seconds difference, you fucking asshole. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Not a guild to get less. The actual psychopath.
Remarkable achievement.
Somebody. It couldn't have been an accident. Teeny Violin used Mocking Blow to bring the boss back
asteroid
to
is
the
depleted.
pile after the other warrior used
Did you
Taunt
kill
to
me?
take the boss
Nope.
in the other direction.
You're close though. Come on, man. No
You can
poison.
see that
Oh, I
somebody
died.
had,
Well,
a
let's use the
remote
instant
desktop,
re-raise. I don't want to
but it
walk
was
back.
PC because
I
he
really don't.
accidentally put the
Yep.
Discord link.
Did you get it? Of course you didn't. So you ate the scroll too. Of course you didn't, did you? No, of course you didn't. Oh, you fucking... Oh, wait,
Okay,
no, it did.
here's
It did.
the
It
clip.
did. It did.
We've got the clip, gentlemen. All right, let's see it. Here we go.
Yeah, not bad. Ah, the Fisher. No, don't aggro. Oh, scared me.
So you see, this is where he turns around. He says, nope.
Zeliak is
Zeliak is in the wrong spot. And you can see he
It was a
just
good run though.
turned
I don't
around
mind
and
that.
he
I don't
used
mind that
his
scroll. I'm
attack
getting good signet here.
on this tab guy. And so you see the taunt go off from Legends. Legends was trying to be a legend. Teeny immediately uses his macro to swap to battle stance and apply Mocking Blow on Sir Zeliak to maintain aggro. He says no. Oh, it's the wrong. So he went to the wrong corner.
Zeliak is
Zeliak is in the wrong spot.
Oh
Oh my god. Right here, here it comes.
I came to Shadowglen to observe the webwood spiders that dwell in the Shadow Thread Cave. They are cousin to a much smaller variety of spider. I believe the World Tree has had a profound effect on them, and I would like specimens to study to confirm this. First, I would like some of their venom. Gather webwood venom sacs from the spiders in and around the Shadow Thread Cave to the north. I can then examine them for
Snapper.
similarities with
yeah?
their smaller cousin's venom.
The asteroid is depleted.
I'm gonna be leatherworking, leather skinning, leather worker. I'll take a priest up, just so I can disenchant like level 10, just so I can disenchant. It'll be a couple of days, but and that way I can just make money my entire run, and I can just solo bankroll the entire thing. I don't have to worry about other people or dungeons or any of that. I just skin my way to the top, sell the skin. There will be bots selling skin, which is annoying, but yeah. Can't seem to jump to Levin the right way. It's annoying.
The asteroid is depleted.
He sat here and raided with us for a year. and made friends. So grief or rage right before KT. Actual psychopath behavior. It was on purpose. It was on purpose.
And words cannot describe how awesome this game was. And what we did, the trends we set together, rules that we enforced for our own fun and achievement and sense of growth, no one can take that away from you. No one.
I can think of someone. I can think of someone.
Oops.
That's been super fun, guys. No, honestly. And from appealable, yeah, griefs are appealable. Whether or not we will is all of this question. There's like 6 livers, I think. We can discuss it. It's a great price. I mean,
Yo, what if Barney comes out with a video tomorrow? And it was actually after the Scarab Board video, had to figure out another way to up the ante. And it was Barney all along. It was me.
it's up to the audience who wants to do that.
I really
It feels like if we thought you're even someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Then let it win, yeah. I'm up and talking about it.
I think obviously, like, I mean, no meme, like, they should just appeal to death. It obviously was a grief. Just keep going. Like, that's my opinion. He obviously griefed you. It wasn't the fault of anybody else. Yeah, you just appeal and that's it. You just move on. Yeah, good troll, but appeal. Yeah, I would just appeal and be like, okay, yeah, well, we obviously got griefed. Nobody should have this debt held against them because it wasn't legitimate at all. Like, that's what I would do. How are you going to appeal on classic hardcore server? The official server? That's a great question. That is a great question. I'm sure Blizzard will be able to deal with it. Why do people even want to play this bullshit anyway? I don't know.
No, I think it undermines the ability to come back and do it, right? So,
I personally would disagree. I think that if you allow something like this to stand, all you do is enable more griefing. Like, personally, that's how I see it. Is it like if you let something like this stand, it's like just the weird take they have, they're just giving up? Yeah. Because, like, if for example, the guy griefed them, and then everybody just got their appeal, then the guy would look like an idiot, right? Because he spent a whole year for nothing. But, like, the reason why there's infamy behind it is because of the fact that it worked. If it didn't work, then it wouldn't matter. You see what I'm saying? It encourages more griefers, yes. I think this should not be appealable. Because he just dedicated so much time
Nice.
to it.
I'm full again.
We have Fresh soon. Yeah, honestly, I'm shocked he didn't wait for Fresh. Because, like, he's now lost.
Warp drive active.
why not wait for KT? What the heck?
No, people are gonna watch him way more because of this. People think this shit's hilarious.
Yeah, well,
It's just I don't even know.
He's just gonna go actually
Actually, like, he makes friends with the most leadership people. Like, it's actually really sad, right? It's really sad. He was, like, actually, like, really good friends with, like, Ellen and, like, Flora and some of the other leadership people. He was actually trying to be, like,
He's just a
yeah, I don't know, it just sucks. Feel bad for him, honestly. Like, just fucking. Yo,
Docking permission requested.
happy fun. Thank you so much for the subs. It's the easiest streak for sure, yeah.
Yeah, again, I really don't want to lose it on that.
Docking request accepted.
Yeah, we do it.
We do loot.
Well, no, that's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm here to do this. It's just, like, I know that rule.
Can I get my loot, please?
How often do y'all get
I have no more competition, guys.
where it's super blatant versus
Certainly you can do this on the right?
Enjoy the ride.
So, you know.
Got a clip? Yo, select the clip, boys. So again, I didn't you think Calamity Nessa was ranked 1 Pally with binary? Okay.
rules are rules. Hardcore brain rot. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Some
brains,
of
the
their
rust.
takes are so odd.
Oh, I missed,
Yeah,
what's up, Aquinas? I'm sorry I missed your chat. I guess I'm not receiving chat notifications for
God.
some reason. I'm doing excellent. How are you?
Gilly and all 39 players
Good to
come
see
back
you.
wanting to do it again would be a feat in itself.
Let's check my notifications here. I'm not why I don't know why I didn't get a whisper.
Of course they're gonna want to do it again.
Oh, I thought, okay, I know why I didn't get whisper.
Well, no.
So when you whispered me, Aquinas, I thought it was World of Warcraft because some fucking bot was whispering me, and I'm so sorry. I got it mixed up. So yeah, and I didn't mean to miss your text. I didn't mean to be rude. I thought it was a bot, and I blocked some bot because I thought because I thought you were them, and I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be rude to you. It's good to see you, sir. Good to see you. I'm back on Twitch. I'm an affiliate now, so doing pretty good. Dan Clancy took over Twitch. He's the new CEO, and he declared that you can legally multi-stream now and stuff. So I took affiliateship finally, and I've already made some money and stuff. Doing pretty good, and also I've got a lot of videos going up on YouTube. Thank you for stepping in, sir, and taking a look. I appreciate the loyalty and all that. And I hope you like classic hardcore WoW. I haven't done WoW much lately. I guess I did lots of Dragonflight, but I haven't done Classic since the first couple months that it launched. So playing 3 different games right now, trying to make money on all 3 and try to get levels on all 3. And before I step out any further, well, I better get on an attack first. I'm gonna go piss real quick once I pull. Yeah, I'll kill this. These mushrooms are good money. Might actually make quite a lot of money off this here, sitting here. It's good.
Warp drive active.
Oh no! Oops. There we go. it. I wonder if I can get third-person camera in Classic. We'll see. I doubt it, but maybe. Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. Oh. I'm gonna go piss while I kill this stone chucker. I should probably shit. Oh yeah, he's weak. Ah, much better. Let's see, what time is it? I'm gonna eat dinner in about 10 minutes here. Sit down, eat a salad, and I'll pause and watch something.
Oh, because you said it was an accident. It's not against the social contract to make a mistake.
No.
Yeah, I mean, how's that against the rules?
No. Oh, I forgot I had ginger cookies. Yeah, like wait.
I mean, I have 36, I think.
Now how did that
So
work?
many
Like,
people in the group
oh
are
yeah,
complaining.
rest. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Uh-huh. He says it's a mistake, so they can't appeal it. Genius. I wonder what's gonna happen. I actually do. I'm curious to see, like, is Blizzard gonna ban this guy?
That's insane.
What's gonna happen?
Heartbreaking as fuck, yeah.
Dude, what if they don't ban him?
Wow.
What'd you expect? I expect
Dude.
people second chances. If Tiny Violin came to us a year ago saying, hey guys, I want to be reformed, I want to do this, I want to pump. They here for a year, making friends.
Nah, you got AWOCs. You got AWOCs so bad.
Yeah, I'm here for the long haul, I want to kill KT. I give them a second chance. Because I believe in people changing. And
Well,
that's on us, right?
people never change.
People never change.
Yeah, the video title, Barney's Big Mistake.
Oh yeah, I was gonna look and see.
Imagine that. Oh,
Curse Forge.
fuck. Is that Barney? No, it's not.
Camera.
We're just joking around.
Oops. Yeah.
If you can make friends for a year and hang out
Barney's
outside
biggest
of
blunder.
raid, even like actual friendship type like gameplay shit.
Listen to this.
It's just sad, right? We have anything to replace them? We lost like 36 people, man.
It's
But I think
over.
most of them are gonna keep playing till the grief rate. Well, some aren't though.
It's done. That's it. It's over, yeah. Oh my god. want to watch Bean's POV of this. Oh god.
Nope. Doesn't have
Look
it,
at his
huh?
fucking face.
No camera mods. That's unfortunate. Oh,
Oh,
well. I actually
no.
don't mind this that much. It's okay.
Oh
It looks
no.
good, frankly.
Alright, here we go. Let's watch
Good
the
die
other
right
video.
here. So anytime you leave the ground, you cannot AFK or fuck around.
He's happy.
The first mark isn't for 20 seconds. Are you calling out marks like 1 and 2, Swan? Read
Yes.
through? Okay.
Yep. You guys changed that.
Okay, no rage on.
5, 4,
Let's go.
3.
This is the same man who did a 16-man multi-box
Welcome
on
to the
Earth
Sumerian
during
Circle Adventure.
24 hours.
As you experience what Shadowglen has to teach you, come see me. I will be able to help you understand more about your role as a hunter and what you are capable of. These are dangerous times, adventurer. Do not take for granted the skill of your pets. There are things in this world more dangerous than you can imagine. Go with Elune and return to me again. Welcome to the Cenarian Circle, adventurer.
Oh, I'm short. I'll have to go sell. Oh, I have to go all the way down there. Damn it. Oh, that's okay. Ooh, it's a bag. Yeah. I hope I have enough. I think I do. I'll have to grind if I don't.
Is a day for weeks and months. And think about all of that power consolidated into merely one character.
2.
Oh, boys. We're locked in.
No! I could have scissored him!
Back up, guys, back up. The meteor. In.
Stack.
Oh my god, this guy's an asshole.
Not moving anymore.
See, he's still happy. Everything's so good. It's just a nice, cozy day.
Fucking
Everything's
asshole.
good.
Fucking
There's the
asshole.
first bomb go off. Everything's good.
Actually.
What?
Yeah, you're fucking losing. Tom, see, I can run it away. Run.
Because he knows the game.
Yeah.
They like away. You made it in country. You should have already deathwished. You're actually fucking troll.
Did he just do that?
He can't get away. He's not going to get away. He's too high on the throne for Ozzy's. Oh no. Oh no. We're going to watch him die through petrification. See,
Of course.
he's happy, right? Because he thinks, I'm going to petri through this, it's going to be fine.
The asteroid is depleted.
We did it?
We did it? Yeah, we did it. Yeah, we did it. It's fine.
I mean,
We're good.
Pretty much everyone on Earth thinks that we should allow him in.
who did it?
Uh-oh.
Look at fucking Paul for that.
And now we realize. And now we see. Wow.
How many people did this guy kill?
The marks don't go through petri.
No, he just.
They sure do.
Still dead anyways through Mark.
No. Always wondered why you would play this kind of game, Bob.
He doesn't even know what to say.
Oh well.
Like, but it was actually interesting that it took so long for stuff like this to happen.
It had to.
Yeah, I mean it was bound to happen
Oh,
eventually.
we made it so far.
Yeah,
Holy
it was
shit.
good, guys. It was really
We
fun.
made it so far. Holy shit. That was impressive.
It was fun.
I could have hearted, I suppose.
Wonder how much they paid him.
Don't,
Subversive did.
I think he did this one for free.
Like, follow up. If you get angry about it, he wins. It is what it is.
Honestly, like,
Yeah.
dude, I even died through Petri, guys. You guys say Petri OP. I just died through Petri, guys. I just died through Petri, man. Is it all? Did everyone died, right? Or
Remarkable
did not everyone?
We beat the
My
Still
goods
Friends
are
record.
the highest
You know how many people thought
With
this
the
was
road
possible
tank.
6 months ago?
Oh, the Marcos through Petri. That's
It was a
insane.
fucking run.
Calamity died probably Bubble Hearth, right? Which is not allowed, so I mean, technically incredible.
Words cannot describe
Damn, bro.
how awesome this game mode was. And
Yeah,
what we did, the trends we set together through rules that we enforced for our own
Wait,
fun
she
and
really,
entertainment
she
sessions.
pre-Hearth or something?
No one can take credit.
Really?
No one.
Wow. Well,
Hey, appreciate everyone that's been around. Like, it's fucking been a blast.
yeah, it counts. It counts. It's everyone's dead.
I do have a
Hardcore,
question.
hardcore is
If some of us want to keep playing, like,
hardcore is I mean, hey, now I can make a human. Now I can make a human. Yeah, now I have to play officially. Yeah, maybe. Who told you guys the teeny guy? Teeny.
The speech is from the griefer.
I don't know. The teeny dude.
38? Seriously?
38. Dude, by the way.
Welcome to the Sumerian Circle, adventurer.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of
Only the
feel
stars guide you.
nice because now I can be a human. You know, now I can be a human. Am I gonna level on this realm? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Thanks, Scuba. A weight has been lifted. You know, I should. You know, shit, bro. It kind of sucks. I did want to beat the game. I really wanted to kill KT and just beat the game. Hey, Ball. Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. It was a good one, dude.
Is this the guy who did it?
I'm honestly not that mad. If I died like individually, like if I died to like a boss or something randomly, sweet, thank you for the 5, bro. If I died to like a boss or something, I feel really fucking bad. But like we died to some asshole who just wanted to kill us all, right? And I mean it's a perfect boss, honestly.
It was.
And shit, bro. Link to clip. Does someone have a better clip of this? Because this clip is pretty bad. But here you go.
Wow. This will be a legend. It will be. Put Tiny's name on the statue. I understand why the griefer, bro. Amazing how many people like the griefer are in this chat. Now I know why the WoW community is shit.
Yep.
The thing is that Blizzard engineers it this way. This is the way they made the game. He is simply an outcome of their designs. He is the fifth.
You've been
horseman,
examined.
Yes. That's right. The fifth horseman. Emergent player behavior. Yes. They have made the game like this. Doesn't really matter because it'll be
Asteroid is
overturned.
depleted.
They said, no, the hardcore people said that you can't get a raid death overturned. So they're gonna have to change their rules. And also, even if they do, that doesn't stop somebody from doing it. Like, I think people would absolutely like risk their account to waste people's time on this level. His next character should be Fifth Horseman. He'll be remembered for this. This is insane. Yes, he will be remembered. Did it for the cloud, went from nothing to 1K viewers and 500 subs in 30 minutes. Yeah. And do you know
Oh,
why?
come on.
It's because people don't care about this. It's funny. Yeah, to them, this is just funny. It doesn't matter, like, oh, somebody is inconvenienced in a video game. And the thing is also, like, is Blizzard gonna ban him for what he says is a mistake? What's gonna happen? Community is dog shit? I think that there are a lot of people out there who look at the hardcore WoW community as kind of annoying and stupid. Because they're trying to go super, super hard mode on a version of the game that is brain dead. So I think that whenever people see hardcore players like this taking such a massive L, I think they love it. People have always enjoyed blood sports. Yeah, wrong corner. Oh, bro, was I in the wrong corner? Oh, shit. Shit. You say brain dead, but most don't make it past level 20. Yeah, well, there's different spectrum of brain dead. Also, I'm not saying that, like, I know hardcore WoW takes, like, a lot of focus, sure. But, like, I'm saying that's the way a lot of people feel about it. That's all. It's when do people find hardcore players annoying? Well, let me ask the chat. Are there a lot of you guys that kind of get that vibe from hardcore WoW and hardcore WoW players? Okay, well, there you go. If it makes you mad, you shouldn't play hardcore. That's the way it goes. You know, dislike hardcore WoW players because they don't find hardcore fun. They can't say something code with them fun and something they don't like. I think the reason why they feel that way is that a lot of people that play hardcore are like, there's like an ego attached to it. And it's the same thing with hardcore in a lot of games where it's like, people feel like they're like superior gamers because they play hardcore. So, like, that's why, right, is they talk about that stuff and they're like, oh, yeah, well, we play hardcore, like, we're serious about the game. Like, that's why people like seeing it happen. You watch Death compilations? Oh, yeah, they love them. They absolutely do. Majority of people playing, having fun with hardcore, having fun, you're listening to the majority that's loud and act like that's all of them. I'm just saying this is the vibe that people get. I've played hardcore WoW. Like, I'm not saying that I think this. I'm just saying this is the impression that people get. Like, like, there are people who are racist. Does that mean I'm racist because I acknowledge there are people that are racist? No. Just because I say there's other people out there that are like this doesn't mean that I'm agreeing with them, saying they're right, saying I think this. I'm just acknowledging that they exist. At the end of the day, this is just great content. It definitely, who cares? It's good content for everyone involved anyway. Well, I think it's only really good content for that guy. For everybody else, it kind of just wastes their time. But yeah, if I was the hardcore guys, what I would do is I would probably just reverse the deaths, because here's the thing, is that mature take, most people and streamers who are playing hardcore are pretty good. Okay, so are you saying that most people aren't mature? Have you ever played World of Warcraft? Like, do you know where you are? If they reverse the deaths, it's a joke? No, it's not. I mean, I don't. Well, here's the thing. So, like, there's two negatives. So if you don't reverse the deaths, you reward this person, and then as soon as this person realizes what they can do, they're going to, like, there's going to be tons of other people that are going to try to copycat them. And a good example of this is Gus in my raids. Is that we had a lot of clips of Gus, and he was dying in the raids to stupid stuff. And then whenever Older War came out, everybody started dying to stupid stuff because they wanted to be the next Gus. They wanted to be the next person on the Aspen Gold Clips channel with like 1 million views on a clip of them fucking up Frogger after patchwork, or missing the jump on Thaddeus, or standing on the wrong side on Thaddeus, or fucking probably something else on Thaddeus. Yes. Bodegro, yes. And so there's a lot of people that kept trying to do it. So you're going to have tons of people that now they're going to start trying to do the exact same thing. Because now they can get their 15 minutes of fame, and they can make a lot of money doing it. Because, like, the guy got a lot of viewers, he got a lot of subs, he's probably running ads like crazy. He's going to make all of his money. He's going to make over $1,000 today. About that. He's going to make probably thousands of dollars today for doing this. And I wouldn't be surprised if he made over 5 or 10K out of this whole thing. Or he made over 3K. So think about it. He did a year of work for basically probably like what would equate to like a part-time job. And he might make close to minimum wage. $1,000 a week in classes. Like, where do I apply? Yeah, there it is. It's
Damn
probably
it.
more than that. Because there's going to be a residual too.
Mine.
Probably for a neat, like anyone here. Yes. Tanks, snacks, GDKPs. To be honest, it's way too much work for you. Except a certain rule set whenever you play a game, maybe they shouldn't invite a known griefer into their group. Oh, I disagree. I think that if somebody does something with bad intention, and then you allow that thing that they do with bad intention to be upheld, I think that you then empower a person with bad intention, and you are really not that worse than they are, or that not that much better than they are. So, like, if you are the one that makes the rules, you have to know that all rules are made to be broken. Rules are not real. Rules are simply always guidelines. They're never actually a hard and fast rule. So to me, like, anytime that I hear, oh, well, that's the rules, well, then just change the rules. Like, who cares? It doesn't really matter. So, what rules? Yeah, it doesn't make a difference at all. So, rules are meant to be broken? Yes, they are. And I think that in a lot of cases, that's the case. A lot of cases, that is true. And I think that also rules that cannot bend will break. And you should always try to have ways for rules to be able to be bent if there is a person who's acting in bad faith. See what I'm saying? So it wasn't an accident? Then why make rules at all? For the 99% of cases where it isn't an accident. Or sorry, when it is an accident. Also, by the way, like, this is the way that the real world works too. Like, in the real world, like, it's not like any time that you do a crime, you get the same punishment or the same thing happens. Like, it depends on, like, the intent of the person, like, you know, had they done it before, etc., right? There's, like, a million different things. If he denies it, how do you prosecute him? He's not going to go through a trial. Well, you just have to make it, you have to make an educated guess. That's all. You just make an educated guess. And it is, you have to guess. But it's obvious that it was premeditated. It's obvious that you did it on purpose. Right? Obvious. So, what are we talking about here? Sets a bad precedent for other raid fuck-ups. Somebody fucks up in a ring, claims his griefing. 2 mods, raid deaths get overturned. Well then, and that's the thing. And you're right. You're absolutely right. After this, then people are going to say that they had a raid fuck-up because of this one person. Right? You're definitely right. So, and this is the problem that it puts them in, is that if you allow this to happen, then you say, okay, well, you're opening the floodgates. But if you don't allow it to happen, then you also enable other people to do the exact same thing and deteriorate the quality of the community by, in my opinion, a very considerable degree. You see what I'm saying? So there are, it's just simply 2 bad decisions. No matter what, this guy poked a pretty big hole inside the hardcore bubble. Do you think does this kill hardcore WoW? Is hardcore WoW dead now? Is it over? Is it finished? Oh. Do you think that this will generate general hostility towards every player and everyone being paranoid and sus to each other? Yes. And it will damage the entire community. Yes. It will. And also, you're going to have tons of other people that are going to try to replicate what this guy did. That's the best part about it, is that now that it's happened once, it will keep happening. Hardcore WoW never even started. It was just boomer noobs in this classic since it's been 4 years and a few adrenaline junkies. Well, whatever you want to call it. This definitely hurts it. Why do you keep making it sound like it's a good thing? Well, I'm just talking about it. I'm just saying this is what's happened. Again, I think it's very simple. What would I do if I was the hardcore leadership? I would just let him appeal it. I would say, listen, guys, it's obvious this guy did it on purpose. He is a known griefer. We're appealing it, and that's it. That's what I would do if I was them. And I think that's what they will do. And when they do, I will be ready to read all of the comments of people that are mad. That'll completely destroy hardcore if they do that. I think it will destroy, like, personally, I think it would destroy hardcore if they don't. Think about it. This is a literal Joker moment. There's no positive outcome. As per Reddit, they're not appealing it. Let me read the Reddit comments, Because, like, obviously this is going to be probably, like, the top post, right? It's not. Okay, second one. Okay. So sad that one person has no moral compass and he cares about no one else's time. I don't understand. He does care about their time. That's why he did it. That's the whole point. Nothing is lost. They can just appeal it. Everything will go back to normal. No time is wasted. One thing can make everyone. And this is also, this is going to be even worse in, like, a visual hardcore. Because now, like, now people know that you can do this. I respect this real hardcore experience. Make the wrong friend and perma died. I'd be fucking screaming at comms to this guy to get back, prepare to help out with Petri or something. See, this guy doesn't even know the game. This is the perfect boss to grief the whole raid. Who could have seen this coming? The dude multi-boxed world buff dispellers on Earth Fury to PvP and RMT'd with people so they would be exempt until he got banned. Wait, he actually is multi-boxing.
Oh my god, I don't
everywhere.
know.
Look at this. He's at the top of Undercity.
Where's the
He's
exit to
down there
this
by
cave?
Orgrimmar. He's up here. He's everywhere. He's watching
that way,
everybody. It's like the last scene in fucking The Dark Knight. With like Morgan Freeman and all those TVs. Why can't you Petri out? Mars go through class players who still
Gotta remember which part of the cave I come in. Fucking caves. I should have just. Man.
Not a surprise. Someone who has griefed in the past will do it again in the future.
No.
Even bigger than that, though, he was permabanned by Blizzard for griefing. Why would you let someone like that into your hardcore raid? It doesn't matter what sob story the guy has. The only way he should get in a raid is by using a completely different username and persona. Yeah, but if he did that, the same thing would happen. So, like, it wouldn't even really matter. So, like, are they really at fault? I mean, like, the same thing, the same outcome would have occurred. It was deliberate. They're talking of appealing. This is why official service will be so much more brutal. We aren't going to appeal it. We took a stance that no matter what happened, raid deaths are not appealable. Declare
Wow.
his character died in Discord after the raid. They are not.
Yeah, don't go in the raid. You have no protection at all.
As it
Jesus
should be.
Christ.
And there is a Reddit post about this guy from 2 years ago. Tiny Violin, Earth Fury multi-boxing dispeller has been banned from WoW. He was banned for accepting payment in real money to not dispel people.
Yep.
So he was so good at dispelling that people were paying him real life money to not dispel them.
Wow.
And again, why does this happen? It's because Blizzard programmed it that way.
Yep.
Blizzard has had 4 years since Classic WoW came out to change the way that those world buffs work. Did they? No. And this is what you get. It's allowed. Yep, that's right. And that's it. You get what you fucking deserve. That's right. Personal responsibility, though, no. I mean, whenever you have a system in a game that's being abused by people and it's creating 99% negative interactions that are unfun and make everybody mad, just take it out of the game. Like, it's common sense. It's like you have a kid, and the kid, there's like a room full of light sockets, and you give the kid a fork, and you're like, wow, this kid's so stupid for putting the fork in the light socket. Well, why not take the fucking fork away? Take away the fucking fork. Tiny was denied / robbed of Scarab Board, and that's why he's dispelling. Yeah, but the thing is, he couldn't have dispelled. How can you change the game for 0.001%? Bro, we're not talking about changing the game. You're talking about making 2 debuffs, not magic debuffs. Like, I'm not talking about rebalancing BWL. I'm not talking about, like, you know, getting rid of Nefarian. I'm talking about changing a buff. Like, what are we talking about? How many combined player hours did he delete, do you think? Assuming each person put 300 hours into their character, and he killed probably 35 people, let's assume that 35 times 3,000. So that is, what is that? 10,500 hours?
Wow. Jesus. Can't believe he killed 35 fucking people.
Yeah, what is 300?
Okay, it's dinner time. I'm gonna pause to eat salad here. I'm gonna pause the video while I do this. Won't take long, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. But I will keep playing the games while I eat. But I do have to go.
10,000.
I have to go get the salad, so I'll be right back.
Pissed away.
Pausing. Sorry about that, guys. I had to pause for dinner. I don't want to put it on the video, so
Your skill has increased.
I do it to my stream, but I don't do it to the video.
Oh yeah, imagine dying, losers.
Yeah, there you go.
I know, imagine dying, loser.
Some of the other warriors are
Game's
sitting
easy.
there. Yeah, sitting
Your
there.
skill
I
has
know.
increased.
They're sitting there on a pile, dead on top of each other. I feel like they're probably looking at it maybe a little bit different, but who knows?
What is going on? That fucking Fungwar is
anyway,
fucked up.
Do you have any like parting thoughts on the?
The fuck is that? You're gonna get me killed, man.
What's happened?
Parting thoughts on what's happened. I think we've kind of covered everything I would say.
Yeah.
It's just, I hope people still try official. It's a pretty fun game mode. You can make it as hard or as easy as you want to. Don't let this deter you from having
Your
fun.
skill has increased.
So you think that even after this, people should keep playing hardcore WoW?
If they enjoy it, yeah.
I like hardcore WoW. I think it's good.
Your skill has increased.
Man.
If you don't enjoy it, go play whatever you like, or retail.
I don't think it's as good as
there you go.
Dragonflight
I
is.
think that at this point, nothing has happened so far that has made me more excited for official WoW
Thank you,
hardcore servers.
adventurer. When I return to Darnassus, I will compare the venom within these sacks with the
Venom within these
of other
sacks.
spiders. It is my
I got some
belief
venom in my
that it will have
sacks.
properties linked to the recent
want
growth
some?
of our new world tree.
Hey, new dagger, yay!
Now that I have the spiders, I like the live specimens to study. Unfortunately, capturing a living giant spider is more than I can ask of you, young adventurer, and a giant spider is more than I could handle myself. But if you can find an unhatched egg, then delivering specimens will be much easier, and I can then arrange for the unhatched spiders to be contained. There must be a nest deep in the Shadow Thread Cave. Please, search for an egg in the nest and return it to me. Goodbye.
I love this quest guide. It's the best quest guide I've ever used instantly. It totally erases all the stupid shit about the game, the research or the Googling or anything. It just tells you where to go so you can play the fucking game instead of being like, oh, I can't remember, or where do I go, or oh, I have to go Wowhead. I don't want to do any of that shit. I just want to fight the whole. I'm a combat guy. I just want to fight. Is that okay or whatever?
Quickly. In just a moment, I will have the antidote prepared. The antidote is ready, adventurer.
Quest
Please
timer.
see that Ivern drinks it. There is something that you should know. The antidote. It will only remain viable for 5 minutes. You must get it to him in time. Speed be with you, adventurer.
Okay. I made some good money today, like 100 mil on mining. I forgot how easy it is. I used to hate mining. I mean, I loved it when I first started doing it. But then I was like, oh my god, it's so boring compared to like real gameplay and real games. Now I love mining because I feel like my pocket's getting fatter in the background the whole fucking time. And I really do think EVE is the greatest game ever made. It's just good. You can play it on so many different levels in so many different ways that... You know, even if it's like, I mean, you can make it play like a fucking shooter pretty much if you want to. Go out there to faction warfare with the right ship. And I mean, like with the right crew, ship plays probably like a fucking Star Wars game, like, you know. But I mean, you have to roll in fast ships and have the right money and damage and the knowledge and stuff. But you can make EVE into a fucking Star Wars game if you want to. I've never done it that fast before. Always slower gang roams through many systems and stuff. How's that? Yeah, that's good. And then, yep, that one's all good. I want to bring the hobgobs back and stick out the mining drones. 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 There we go. Yeah, alright. Oh, right, 5-minute counter. Yeah, I think I'll probably make it. Time quests. This is like the one and only time they ever did this too. Right at the start of the game. It's funny. No, they've had time quests since then, but like this one is the most blaring one.
What is this adventurer? Oh, I knew Durania would be able to help me.
Yeah, it's an upgrade.
I'm always getting into trouble, and Durania, well, she always manages to help me out of it. I'm feeling much better, but I think I will sit here for a while longer until I feel completely better. Well, that, and I was hoping you'd clear a path for me through those vicious webwood spiders.
Vicious webwood spiders. Oh no.
If you love content, you're gonna love Official. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, this is
the amount of drama. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, because people are gonna do this. The thing is, like, yeah, you lose your account, but like, what does it matter if you did it on purpose? Yeah, I can't wait to see the taunts on the dragons and everything else. It's gonna be incredible.
Do you want to hear about a really fun grief?
Yeah.
That's not been fixed yet.
Oh yeah.
So if you get a druid with the tier 1 set from Molten Core,
okay,
it increases your thorns damage by 25 and lasts for 10 minutes. Get a priest with you and mind control a mob like Hogger and buff it with thorns, and people one-shot themselves on it.
Really? I thought I remember that was kind of a bug before that you could do with like Curse of Recklessness, but I thought that it would only be aggroed onto you. That's not the case in Classic WoW?
Nope. People, it's a very niche grief because people don't notice, right? They don't realize why they die.
Right, okay. Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. Because, yeah, a 25 damage return, or not 25, it'd be way more, actually.
Like 50 or something.
Yeah. Holy shit. Wow.
I'm sure that I've said it on stream, it'll be fixed, but you know.
Oh, I'm sure. Just like they
There's
fixed
gonna
the
be so
World
many
Cups in
juicy
Classic.
deaths like that, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I think that Blizzard is not going to fix this stuff. Do you think that... Oh, here's another question. Last one. Do you think that things like this and the ability to do things like this makes the WoW community more toxic because it enables people? Or do you think it's a wash?
That's a really heavy question. Do I think it makes them more toxic?
Yeah, or well, like it creates toxicity. It makes people more toxic because they are empowered to do things that can negatively affect other people's gameplay experience in a tremendous way.
That is a hard question. I think people that would do things like that are already toxic. It just allows them to have that sandbox. I wouldn't say it makes them toxic.
Okay, so yeah, that you're right. It's definitely a situation of enabling versus making it happen in the first place or changing people's behavior. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's more tools for the kids. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and talking about this. You know, my condolences to your guild.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Congrats on the content. I'm glad you got some use out of it.
Oh, I'm so happy. It's great. I appreciate you guys doing it for me. So I'll see you later.
Yeah, doodles.
Peace. Oh, there we go. That was Calamity. We can get a link to her channel on Twitch. That would be nice. Super cool. Yeah.
Excuse me.
And she was the paladin. Which is cool. Yeah.
The asteroid is defeated.
She knew. Yeah. Man. Yeah, we'll definitely We'll definitely have to interview that guy if people want it in a day or so. I can't believe this happened. Well, I can. I think it's like it's one of those things that it's like you can't believe it, and then you also can't believe that it hasn't happened before then. Man. Interviewing Tiny Violin, the fifth horseman on Classic WoW. He already made history. He did. He's made history.
7/11, the day the earth stood still. The day that 36 very brave hardcore champions were killed in what can only be called an act of hardcore terrorism. Chat, today we have the opportunity to sit down with one of Classic WoW's biggest villains.
Sorry.
The man that recently wiped an
Loud.
entire 40-man hardcore raid roster, Tiny Violin. First off, Mr. Tiny Violin, thank you for making this interview. We've been trying to set this up for a couple days. I know you've got a very busy work schedule. How was your day at work today?
It was good.
There's a lot of people
Before
here.
we start,
God
though,
damn.
I'd like to give you a brief introduction for those people out there who don't know me.
Okay.
Please, okay.
Here we go.
So in Classic,
Yeah, this one was an inside job too, by the way.
was wronged out of Scarab Lord and ATS.
Wait, what?
So in Classic, I was wronged out of Scarab Lord and ATS.
There it is. That's right.
I then created 16
Inventory's
accounts.
full?
So this is the
Oh
villain
no.
backstory.
Then Hearth.
Faction PvP,
God damn it.
spelling buffs,
At least it saves time.
No, it's not. Kevin Jordan literally didn't even know that the buffs were dispellable. He literally said it wasn't. The world buffs, he said they weren't, but that's fine. It's fine. But just to clarify.
I then played with a Blizzard employee named Wolfjob, so he confirmed I was a driving factor in Chrono Boon. So anyone who likes Chrono Boon has me to thank for it. After Classic, I kept playing Vanilla since it's my favorite expansion, private servers.
Wait, you can't get up here? You can't get up here. Oh my god.
Yeah, he wasn't dispelling. It wasn't about the buffs.
I like
it was
Hollow.
about sending a message.
To 60 in hardcore, and I played with HG Elite for about a year. I made friends with a lot of people in the guild, and I was one of the reasons they got so far. Without me, locks weren't putting up curses, there was no fairy fire, there was no IEA. Some warriors...
How the fuck do these people not know how to play the game? It's a one-button game.
weren't even sundering.
Warriors were... What the fuck is going... How are these people... Bro, I don't even feel bad anymore. How do you fuck this up?
After every raid, I did a log review, and I helped warriors and mages with their rotation. I made
What
mages didn't even know how Ignite mechanics even worked. And after raids, I played Scribblia with them. I made a lot of friends in the guild. But eventually I began to see some corruption within the guild. So the rules at the start were...
Oh, fuck.
I didn't know it was gonna go this deep. God damn it.
Much more strict. You couldn't use non-hardcore tunes for help. For example, you can't use a non-hardcore priest for mind control for sun buff. Some of my friends got
He's
birth
talking of the sun buff is the war chief's blessing.
booted early on for this
Your
exact
skill
reason.
has increased.
But once AQNX came into the question, more and more people showed up with friend buff, but they actually refused to explain how they got it. So I actually learned.
So he thinks that because, and also like Tiny Violin, remember his specialty is world buffs. That's like his area. You know, like whenever they bring in, you know, there's like a TLC documentary about something like some pizzeria in New York, and they bring in like a fat guy with a mustache, and he's like his title is cheese, like 1700s cheese expert. Well, this guy here is classic World of Warcraft world buffs expert. So he would know more than anybody else.
A lot of them had actually died, and they just altered their add-ons to keep playing. The rules were different for different people. So I brought up the Bren buff issue in Discord, and the response from leadership was hardcore server soon. On top of this, the loot was.
I mean, realistically, they can't. Like, you can't micromanage what people do outside of raid time, and you can only control, like, you. What are they gonna say? What are they gonna do if somebody got the Rend Blackhand buff? Like, like, how can you like realistically arbitrate this?
I don't think you
They're
can.
corrupt. There's leaked audio of Loot Council just stating, I want these items and taking it. The same players who didn't even understand Ignite
Leaked audio. Okay, where is it? But okay.
mechanics were in charge of this Loot Council. So tension in H Elite was getting high. People were unhappy. I would call out bad players in Discord, and people would praise me. Others would hate me. It became polarizing.
Man. We used to
Bad
have a rule
players.
back in the old days that every single night that I would raid lead, someone would quit the guild.
The asteroid is depleted.
It was like a quote.
Eventually, I realized the true spirit of vanilla hardcore was lost, and we weren't doing an official hardcore run. None of this would have been possible on an actual hardcore server, since majority of the guild had actually cheated. I started warning my friends that Judgment Day was near, and I was looking to put
That's smart. Judgment Day.
the stop to what I thought was fake hardcore.
Yeah.
I actually
That makes
messaged
sense.
all my friends and told them beforehand there
Right.
would be an incident in tonight's snacks.
So.
And I actually do have proof of people that was warned. Maybe they didn't believe me, but I can show you off screen some screenshots.
So did he tell him, like, don't come to school today? Is that pretty much what he said? Oh my god!
After the wipe, a lot of people were relieved. I got some thank you and I got some death threats. But the corruption
They
is
said they were relieved. That's the best part about it. Finally, we've been released from this torment.
stop there. After a lot of the HC characters died, they
Yeah.
started entering BGs. They actually died again since the game was over for them. But then Dell had a change of heart and decided to go back into KT. So these people actually told him that they went into BGs and died, but he just brushed it off and just said he wanted to go back into packs. Like, this was my problem with the situation. It was truly never hardcore. It was a fake accomplishment the entire time.
Well, of course it is, because it's not an accomplishment to begin with, but okay, good. I mean, that's my perspective on this shit, bro. Go, this is a one-button game with one-button bosses, okay? But, alright.
Okay, let's unpackage all of that. We're going to do that over the course of this interview. Thank you for showing up once again. Over the last 2 or 3 days, I've seen people dismiss your behavior as your depressed, hate-filled, basement-dwelling psychopath. Would you say any of that is true as a starter question?
Oh, not at all. I'm like the happiest person ever.
I would be too if I was him. Bro, like, I saw his channel today, he had 600 viewers. Bro, like, you run an ad at 600 viewers, you make money. You make like over $100. I was never happier in my life than whenever I was griefing people. The one thing that could always bring me joy was somebody else's lack of it. No, I understand this very well.
I love playing vanilla WoW, and I have a blast doing it.
Okay. I've also seen people calling you the Osama bin Laden of hardcore community, and that you're a
No, that makes sense, because, like, you know, the 7-Eleven thing.
hardcore terrorist. What's your response to that?
I don't think so. Like,
I mean, he's basically Osama bin Laden. Yeah, I think it, you know, it's kind of the same thing, right? I mean, it's got to be kind of close, right? This is kind of like, it's basically, yeah.
That was really helpful with the community. Like I mentioned earlier, like I would help them with like log reviews. I was really helpful with the community. I don't know why they would call me a terrorist.
Okay.
As I said, I don't think he's like a terrorist, though. I think he's like a farmer, right? Or like a livestock farmer, where like you raise cattle up, and you slaughter them.
Wow.
That's what it's really. That's what it's
So
that is just
this
depressing.
was not an accident. You were memeing a little bit. You were joking around when you made the comments about being in the wrong corner. This was intentional, yeah.
So, like, even though this, so this is clearly not a grief, but the problem is everyone would try to mass report me. So in my best interest, I had to pretend it was the wrong corner. But Judgment Day was coming, and I talked to a few people I trusted the most, and I had to play it off as a raid accident. But at the end of the day, this was Judgment Day.
So it wasn't really a grief, and this is actually a very good point that he brings up. He wasn't really griefing them. It was just simply Judgment Day. So, I mean, is that griefing? Well, no. I mean, judges are in real life. Are they griefing people? No. They're two different things. It's a good point.
Okay, so just to be clear, considering it was Judgment Day, this was not an accident. Judgment Day was premeditated.
Well, it's not griefing. It was just simply, like I said, Judgment Day.
Yeah. Well, that makes
All
sense.
right, yeah, griefing. That
Right, because it's just like, because griefing. How is
then return there when my studies
I mean,
are
is
done.
God griefing
I
on
expect
Judgment
to find
Day?
out a
No.
great deal from these specimens.
No, that's
You've
what he
been a great
does.
help to me. Adventurer, is it?
Has got a lot
I
of
heard
nuance
that
to it.
Teneron has been asking for
I'm sure the
you.
word grieving
You'll
is
find him in the
terminology
highest
that I
room
haven't
atop
heard.
Aldrassil. We may
But
live long
prior
lives,
to this
but
raid,
it's best you not keep him
you
waiting too
knew
long.
that you were going to do this.
So I like to give you an analogy. So like, you know, like killing a killer. Is it really a bad thing if you kill another killer?
Yeah, that's a deep one. Yeah, now we're talking the ethics of death sentence. You said that other people knew in this raid.
That's a very good fucking point. I said an eye for an eye, brother. Yeah, there it is. Because it's not grieving. It was just Judgment Day. It was it was something that just needed to happen. It doesn't really matter who did it. It matters that it happened.
That Judgment Day was going to happen. Is that true?
God damn it.
Yeah,
Get you
yeah,
to
exactly.
target.
Like I said, I can show you screenshots of stream. I warned my friends in the raid that I don't know if they believed me or.
A small violin played the sad song in the hall from Naxxramas. Horseman massacre. Wrong corner. Every man's dead. Never return to life. Stone drink cannot save you. Careful from the yellow light.
Oh, he killed him.
Not, but they were warned beforehand.
Okay, and so the people that were warned, were these people that you were friends with or that had been kind to you, or did you... How did these people figure out...
Yeah, he
that
told
this
him not to
was
go to
going
school that day.
They were just like they were good players. We had a kind of a similar mindset. You know, we wanted to min-max our characters. You know, we wanted to do well. They were just like cool people.
Your
that
skill
really
has increased.
Like genuinely enjoyed, you know, hanging around.
Okay, and you're not comfortable saying any of these names publicly right now, but you'll show me afterwards?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you don't want to give away that you're co-conspirators. I mean, that's going to make you look bad. Yeah, first rule of Fight Club.
Okay. Do you think any of these people you told were sort of on your side and that they were happy that Judgment Day was going to happen? Or were they like, hey, bro, I hope that Judgment Day does not happen? What was their take?
Honestly, I think they were relieved. Like, there was a lot of issues with the guild.
Because if you live in a world full of sin, and sin is all around you,
yep,
and you're forced to live in sin, there must be a time where you know that Judgment Day is coming.
Yeah.
And you offer your body up to God and say, God, please save me in whatever way you deem necessary.
Yeah. I've done it before.
You know, with the cheating, people weren't happy about
Ah,
that.
adventurer. I was hoping you'd be prompt in answering my summons. I have an important task that I would like you to perform. It is time for you to set out to seek your destiny, adventurer. But before you are ready to set out into the world beyond our enchanted forests, there is much you must learn about our recent history. Much has changed with our people since the Battle of Mount Hyjal. Nordrassil lies a pale shadow of what it once was, its power used to defeat Archimonde and drive back the Burning Legion. There is a task you must perform. Go to the Moonwell north of Aldrassil and return me a phial of its water.
Yeah, there we go. Better.
The
I want
asteroid
to play like
is
this.
depleted.
I think it looks sweet. Makes the game look way better. I don't have to PvP, so it works for me. If I need to zoom out, I will. You know, yeah, it's like a really great. Yeah, it's fucking great. I wish I could get it like a little. Yeah, like a little more of it. No, that's good. I like that. Yeah. That way I don't fall. You know, play it like Rust. That shit. Yep, that's brilliant. I like it. Okay, so where now? 325 yards that way. Okay, run that way.
The asteroid is depleted.
People got special treatment. Like, how can this person do this, but it's not okay for the rest of the community? The loot was super
Oh,
rough.
DC, why? Oh.
Basically, like, you know, I guess it might have been mixed feelings for them. Like, at the end of the day, like, they understood why it was done. Like, I believe that they
And that's the
understood
thing, right? It's the Old Testament. Like, let's be honest. God is a dick. He's a much bigger asshole than Satan is. But you have to understand that it's part of his plan.
It's heresy.
needed to be done. Like, I'll give you an example. A hunter.
It's weird.
got
That was
Badge of the
more
Swarm.
heresy than I would ever
He got-
engage in.
He got the choker
Jesus.
from AQ40 and Badge of the Swarm Guard. Like, the loot was like completely.
Like
fucked.
I'm an atheist.
I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, so you would say
I don't think that's a big deal. Like, Badge of the Swarm Guard, who cares? The game's so easy, you're gonna kill every boss in 20 seconds anyway.
the reason why Judgment Day was necessary is because of corruption within the hardcore elite community and also selective enforcement of the hardcore rules. Is that pretty much why Judgment Day was necessary for in your mind?
Absolutely, it was ruining the spirit of vanilla.
There it is.
It's not real hardcore.
It is now.
Okay. Switching topic here for a minute. Okay, I'll let you go ahead if you have
Like, these players would not survive on a real hardcore server.
So this is like, again, this is like, so he's saying like natural selection.
If they trust people to raid, they wouldn't survive. Yeah, he's right. If they trust people to raid with them, they wouldn't survive hardcore.
Let me ask you this. I've seen some screenshots floating around.
I'll survive hardcore. Watch.
Information about this event happening.
Yeah.
To what degree is Team Uggsy involved in this?
So, Team Uggsy was saying a lot of things, like playing flashbang sounds, and he got mad I didn't give him credit, but if you look at the timestamp, he was messaging me 5 minutes before the call. Like, he just wanted his 15 minutes of fame.
Oh, so you're saying Team Uggsy was sort of
So people were saying that Team Uggsy was the actual mastermind, but no, he wasn't the mastermind. The Tiny Violin was the actual mastermind, and Team Uggsy was just trying to coattail onto there.
latching on to Judgment Day after it had already been planned.
Oh, absolutely. Like, someone obviously told him it was about to happen, and so while the raid leader was explaining the fight, he was messaging through Discord. So, like, he like the stuff he was saying, like the flashbang and stuff, like the outcome would have been the same, regardless whether.
He says, I think they will trip out when my mom is in the middle of a mal, but whatever, this is the best strat. If you have threat, it will look very normal. They will be very focused on Thane. So taunt, count to 5, move to Thane. Do I stand on Thane? Just be near the stack. Man, they're gonna be so choked. This is gonna be amazing.
Oh, the server went down, did it? Oh, the server went down is what it was. Oh, the server went down.
Okay,
Okay.
I just want to double back.
Yeah,
to
server's
one
offline.
task,
Shit.
stepping away from
Well, okay. Well, one of my
So,
games is down,
you said
guys.
you've been
Sorry.
playing in hardcore